Earlier, you spoke to working memory. How do verbal and working memory tie into dyslexia?
So it's pretty common for people with dyslexia to also have a deficit with working memory. So working memory, kind of in a nutshell, working memory refers to the ability to hold information in your brain and manipulate it. I've heard the analogy of a Post-it note. Most people have that 3x3 Post-it note. Some people have a 1x2 Post-it note. Some people have a larger Post-it note. But the Post-it note represents like the capacity that you have to hold on to information, new information while you're working with it. I think most people, most adults hold like 4 or 5 bits of information. That would be average. So a good example of working memory would be mental arithmetic, right? If I were to give you a problem like 12 plus 27, you have to hold those numbers in your brain while you're working with them. So how many things can you hold in your brain? And then what's the duration that they stay in there? Working memory is not long-term memory. You can only hold on to it for, we're talking seconds, not minutes. There are ways to strengthen that, but we're looking at the limitation of the capacity and the duration of holding information in your brain. Now, for kids with dyslexia, that's going to impact a lot. I'm sure you guys see it with executive function.
Very much, yeah.
Oral directions.
Yeah, it's a kid where you're like, go upstairs, get your socks, shoes, and brush your teeth. And we come down with maybe 1 sock. Right? It's like we tried and got a piece of it, but not enough of it.
In reading, kids who struggle with working memory are also going to struggle with decoding because while they're sounding out a word, they're having to look at the first letter, remember what the sound is, attach the sound to it, move to the next letter and the next. Yeah. And so they have to hold all of those pieces to put them all together at the end.
Because when I first heard about it, I was like, well, what's the connection between working memory and reading? And then the way you laid it out, it makes a lot of sense. There's a lot to hold in your brain while we're sounding words out.
And that's the decoding piece, right? When it comes to like reading comprehension, you have to hold the words at the beginning of the sentence or paragraph as you're reading through and connect the new information to the beginning information too. So there is a lot of holding of information to then put it together to help it, to have it make sense. Obviously, writing is another big one.